They slammed the cell door shut behind me, the same sound I'd heard 100 times from the other side of the bench. Only this time, I wasn't the judge. I was the one in handcuffs. And the man staring at me from the corner bunk was the same man I'd sentenced to prison 2 years ago. His eyes burned with disbelief and something else. Not hate, not anger, something deeper. A question: "What are you doing here, Judge Parker?" My name is Judge Malcolm Parker, and for the past 15 years, I've been sitting on the bench in the city of Brookdale. I built my career on discipline, integrity, and one unshakable rule: the law is the law. No favoritism. No shortcuts. People called me Iron Judge. I didn't mind. It meant I was doing my job right. But that night, when I found myself inside a cold concrete cell, everything I believed about justice was about to be tested. It started like any other evening. I'd finished a long day in court, sentencing a man named Darius Cole, a repeat offender caught stealing groceries. It wasn't his first theft, and by the book, I had to give him 2 years. He cried in court that day, saying, "Judge, I wasn't stealing to hurt nobody. My little girl's hungry." I remember telling him, "The law doesn't bend for circumstance, Mr. Cole." Those words would come back to haunt me. That night, after leaving court, I stopped at a small gas station on my way home. When I walked out, blue lights flashed in my rearview mirror. A police officer approached my car. "License and registration," he said sharply. I handed them over, calm and polite. "What's the problem, officer?" "You ran a stop sign," he said. But before I could respond, another patrol car pulled up. The next thing I knew, he was asking me to step out of the vehicle. I tried to explain, "I'm Judge Parker, you've probably seen me at," he cut me off. "Sir, you match the description of a suspect in a hit-and-run earlier tonight." "A suspect? Are you serious?" I said. "Hands on the car," he ordered. I didn't resist. But when the cuffs clicked around my wrists, it hit me. None of my titles, none of my years in law mattered right now. In his eyes, I wasn't a judge. Just another black man under arrest. Hours later, after fingerprinting, photos, and endless paperwork, I was led into a holding cell. It was crowded, the air thick with sweat and silence. Then I saw him. Sitting in the corner, arms crossed, staring right at me. Darius Cole. The same man I'd sentenced to prison. He smirked. Well, if it isn't your honor. Guess justice finally found you." I didn't respond. I sat down quietly on the metal bench. He laughed. "Man, life's funny. You put me in here for stealing food. And now you here for what, Judge?" "Murder." I exhaled. "Mistaken identity." He raised an eyebrow. "Ain't that what they all say?" I wanted to argue, but I couldn't. Because right then, I realized that's exactly what I used to think too. The hours dragged on. No one cared who I was. The guards barely looked my way. The same walls I thought protected society now closed in on me. The same system I served without question had turned on me. And Darius? He just watched. Finally, he said, "You cold, Judge." I hesitated. "I'll be fine." He threw me his extra blanket. "Yeah, that's what I used to say too." I looked at him, surprised. He smiled. "You think we all monsters, huh? Some of us just got hungry." I stayed quiet. Then he said something I'll never forget. "You ever been hungry, Judge? Like, real hungry? Not missed lunch hungry. I mean can't feed your kid, can't sleep, 'cause her stomach's growlin' hungry." I looked at the floor. "No," he nodded. "Didn't think so." For the first time, I saw him, not as a criminal, but as a father. Around midnight, a young officer came by. He looked nervous when he saw me. "Judge Parker," he whispered. "Sir, this is a huge mistake. They're verifying everything now." "Good," I said bitterly. "Maybe next time, they'll ask questions before cuffing someone innocent." The officer looked embarrassed. "I'm sorry, sir." I sighed. "It's not just about me. It's about how easy it is for this to happen to anyone else." Darius chuckled softly. "Now you get it." I turned to him. "You said you have a daughter?" "Yeah," he said proudly. "Tasha, 7 years old. Smartest kid you ever met. She think I'm a superhero, even though I messed up." I smiled. "Maybe you're trying to fix it now." He looked down. "Can't fix nothin' when nobody gives you a chance." His words hit hard, because deep down I knew I'd been one of those people who didn't give him a chance. By dawn, they finally realized the hit-and-run suspect had already been caught. A sergeant came to the cell. "Judge Parker, sir, we're deeply sorry. You're free to go." I stood up slowly, my joints aching. Before leaving, I turned to Darius. "They'll be releasing you soon, right?" He shrugged. "Public defender didn't show. Court dates next month." I paused. "What are you in for this time?" He smiled sadly. "Violation of probation. Missed a meeting, 'cause my boss changed my shift. Lost the job too." I felt my chest tighten. "You're serious?" "Yeah. That's how it goes, Judge. You can't climb out when the ladder's missing a few rungs." I looked at him, then at the guard. "Get this man his lawyer. Today." The guard hesitated. "Sir, that's an order," I said firmly. "From a judge who finally understands." That morning, I walked out of jail with a new perspective and a new purpose. 4 years, I believed justice was blind. But now I knew. Sometimes it just refuses to see. The experience didn't just shake me. It changed me. The next week, I called a meeting at the courthouse. Every prosecutor, every defense attorney, every public defender. I stood before them and said, "Justice isn't about punishment. It's about understanding. It's about why people fall and how we can help them stand again." That day, I launched the Brookdale Second Chance program, a partnership between the court and community services. It offered job training, addiction support, and rehabilitation for nonviolent offenders. Guess who I hired as the first community advisor? Darius Cole. A year later, Darius stood beside me on stage at a local youth center. He spoke to a group of at-risk teens. I thought the system was my enemy. But now I work with the judge who locked me up. Because sometimes, people don't need punishment. They need someone to see them. The crowd applauded. I felt something swell in my chest. Pride, humility, maybe both. When the event ended, he turned to me and said, "Funny how life works, huh? You spent one night in a cell and changed a whole system." I smiled. "No, Darius. You changed it. I just finally listened." Now, when I walk into my courtroom, I don't just see cases. I see stories. People fighting to survive, just like Darius did. That night in jail taught me something no law book ever could, that justice without compassion isn't justice at all. Because if the law can't see the human being behind a mistake, then it's just another prison cell, built out of paper and pride. So yes, I spent one night in jail. But that night gave me something priceless, the truth. And sometimes it takes losing your freedom to understand what it really means to give it back.